let's get to our first kid's health question.
My name is Margo. Why am I allergic to peanuts? Because my friends and family are allergic to them, and I'm the only one in my class.
General medicine. Margo has a good question considering that peanut allergy is the second most common food allergy in children. So why is she allergic? Tell us, general medicine.
Well, Margo, peanut allergies can seem very scary. They happen when a child's immune system reacts badly to a protein in peanuts and views the peanut as a threat. When we are allergic to food, there is something present in that food, usually a protein, that doesn't agree with our bodies. When it comes to peanuts, it's probably the fact that peanuts grow underground and have a high mold content. You are more likely to have an allergy to foods with a higher yeast or mold content. If you are having a bad reaction to peanuts, it's very important that you avoid them entirely. And make sure you don't eat other foods that might contain peanuts as an ingredient. Your body will thank you.
Let's get to another question about a little habit a lot of kids have.
Hey doctors, since I do it a lot, does cracking your knuckles actually give you arthritis? Or is it just something my mind says to make me stop?
All right, general medicine. Can cracking knuckles really cause arthritis?
That's an excellent question, James. Although it's generally not shown to cause arthritis, it's still not the best activity for your health. The cracking of knuckle cracking seems to be produced by increasing the space between finger joints. This causes gas bubbles in the joint fluid to collapse or burst. It's a bit like blowing up a balloon and then stretching the balloon until it pops. The reason you can't crack the same knuckle or joint twice right away is that it takes time for gas bubbles to gather again in the joint. Constant knuckle cracking may lead to hand swelling or reduced grip strength later in life. There's also reports of dislocations or tendon injuries with vigorous cracking. Knuckle cracking is a common behavior and can become a habit or a way to deal with nervous energy. Some describe it as a way to release tension. Others just find the behavior really annoying.
Okay, general medicine. Viruses are front and center because of the pandemic, and kids have concerns. Here's Sophia's.
What's the worst virus ever recorded in history?
So, general medicine, what is the worst disease on record?
Well, nowadays, all the worst diseases are on MP3. Only kidding. One of the worst diseases to ever be discovered is polio, because it's a life-threatening disease that leads to paralysis. The virus spreads from person to person and can infect a person's spinal cord, causing paralysis, which means one can't move parts of the body. Polio once caused widespread panic. In the late 1940s, polio outbreaks in the U.S. increased in frequency and size, disabling an average of more than 35,000 people each year. Parents were frightened to let their children go outside. Public health officials imposed quarantines, similar to what we experienced during the coronavirus pandemic. But thanks to the polio vaccine, polio has been eliminated in this country for more than 30 years. Since 1979, no cases of polio have originated in the U.S. However, the virus has been brought into the country by travelers with polio. The last time this happened was in 1993. That's why it's so important to get the polio vaccine and other vaccines that doctors recommend, because we know that they can keep you safe and healthy. Remember, we took the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm, and we meant it.
We sure did, general medicine, and I couldn't agree more. Vaccines are one of the greatest inventions ever. Thank you, general medicine. We look forward to you and the Doctor Squad empowering more kids to take charge of their health.